Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's look is a little recreation of a look that one of my friends created. She is so super talented. Her name is Becca. I will list her Instagram down below so you can go and follow her, but this is the image that of the look that she created. I don't know if you can see it. It was so beautiful. So everybody please go and follow Becca because she is insane. And yeah, it just really inspired me, so I really wanted to recreate the look. So before we get into the tutorial, please make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that bell icon too so you can get notifications whenever I post. And also follow me on Instagram because I do post on there a lot more often. I also do Instagram videos. So yeah, just go give me a follow, join my little family, and let me know what you think of my content. So if you want to learn how to create this look, please keep on watching. It's been a while. So I'm using the Eden primer from Urban Decay. I'm just going to pop that all over, and I'm almost going to bring it out a little bit as well into sort of like a winged shape because we are going to pull the eyeshadow out a little bit. I'm just going to do one eye at a time so that we can blend it nicely and it doesn't dry too quickly. So I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Ludwin, and it's from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm just taking that on a Morphe E23 brush. I'm just setting my whole lid with that. I'm mainly focusing it in the crease. So now that I've set the lid, I'm going to take a fluffy crease brush, and this one is the 221 from Zoeva. I'm just going to take this warm shade right here, and I'm just going to start building that up in the crease. And I'm taking it right into the inner crease as well. So the next shade I'm going to use in my crease is this one right here. This is Desert Sands. Would it really be a tutorial of mine if I didn't use Desert Sands? Probably not. So I'm going to take that on the same brush, and I'm just going to go right over top of what we have already placed down. And then again, just dragging it out. So the next shade I'm going to use is this one right here. It's like a warm brick reddy brown, and I'm taking that on a Zoeva 224. And I'm taking this one onto the outer corner of my lid and then through the crease. Then I'm going back in with my previous brush, and I'm just going to start to blend all of those together and just diffuse the edges a little bit more. I'm also going to take a little bit more of Desert Sands, and I'm just going to place it where we have popped it onto our lid, almost overlapping on where we have the nude. Just to blend that red shade. Now I'm just going to go in with a clean brush. And I'm just going to diffuse the edges a little bit more, and this is going to help to pull that shadow out of the outer corner as well. So now I'm going to start adding in some black for depth. So I'm just going to take this one right here. So it's just from the Shade and Light palette, but it is super black. And I'm taking it on a Morphe M506 brush. And it's just like a really tiny blending brush, and I just love it. It's so cute. So I'm just going to start popping that in the outer corner. And then when I've got less product on my brush, I'm slowly going to start blending that into the crease. And then I'm just going back in with some Desert Sands, just along the edges to bring back that sort of mustardy shade. So now we've got all of the shadow finished. Now I'm going to do the sort of like half cut crease on the lid. So I'm taking my MAC Pro Longwear in NC20. I'm just taking a tiny bit of this on my hand. And I'm taking that on a flat concealer brush with like a round edge. So you just want to start off with a tiny amount of product just to mark out where we're going to do the cut crease. So I like to look down into my mirror so I can see the natural formation of my crease. And I like to go right from my tear duct and sort of just stamp it on. And then once you've got the shape, you can start filling in your lid. And I take the concealer about halfway. Okay, so once you're happy with that, you can just take a flat shader brush. And then I'm going to take a bone coloured shadow. So I'm just going to use the same one that we used to set with. And I'm just going to start pressing that on. So I'm just using a flat synthetic brush to pack on the bone coloured shade that we used to set our lid. Just to set the concealer. But I'm not taking it all the way to the edge because I want to leave that almost a little bit tacky so that we can blend the other shades into the concealer. Now that I've done that on both eyes, I'm just going to take my brush that I use for the Desert Sand shade. I'm going to take a little bit of Desert Sands. I'm going to start to press that onto the outer corner just to start blending the lid. Because I don't want it to be like a harsh line from like nude to like black brown. So I'm literally just pressing the product in to blend it. And then I'm going back in with that brick red shade. And I'm just taking that in between the darkest shade and the Desert Sands. And then I'm going back in with a little bit of the black. Just to help to darken up the outer corner. Okay, so now I'm just going to pop a little bit of glitter along the line where we cut the crease. So I don't want this to be too heavy, I almost want the glitter to be quite sparse. So now I'm going to move on to liner. So this look obviously has a winged liner. So I'm taking the tattoo liner from Kat Von D, and this is a brand new one. So now that our wing is done, I'm just going to do the skin and then we'll finish off the eyes after. So for my primer, I'm taking the Kat Von D Lock It Hydrating Primer. I'm taking 1 pump of that on my fingertips. I'm just going to warm things up here. And then I'm just going to massage that in Makes it really hard when you have little rings on. So for foundation, I'm using my Makeup Forever HD liquid. This one is going to be a couple of shades darker than what I am right now, but we'll give it a go. I'm just taking that on my Real Techniques sponge, which is probably the worst thing you can use to apply this, because I feel like it just sucks it straight up. So now I'm just taking my Lock It concealer again, and I'm just using that to brighten my under eyes. I'm just using that to highlight my face as well. And I'm using my Real Techniques sponge for this as well. So now I'm just going to take my Laura Mercier powder and I'm just going to not bake my under eyes, I'm just going to press this into my under eyes to set them. So now I'm just going to finish off my under eyes. So I'm going in with my brush that I use for Desert Sands, and I'm taking Desert Sands. I'm going to lightly dust that underneath my eye. And now I'm going to take my Zoeva 224 and that red brick shade again. And I'm going to run that exactly the same right along the lash line. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of black, and I'm just using a Spectrum A07 brush. And I'm focusing the black mainly on the outer corner. And I almost want it to look like it's almost connected to the wing. Okay, so that is the eyeshadow finished. Now I'm just going to highlight my inner corner. So I'm going to take my Nicol Guerriero Glow Kit, if I can open it. So I'm going to take this shade and this shade, so I'm going to mix them together. So this one is Glow Getter and this one is Forever Young. And I'm taking that on a Zoeva 231 brush. So I'm just loading up my brush and then I'm going to spray it with some setting spray. Now I'm just going to use that same palette to highlight my face, and I'm just going to use the same two colours as well. I'm just going to dip into them both, and I'm using that on a Morphe 510 brush, which is my favourite brush to use with highlighters like this. So all of the glow kits, I like to use this brush rather than a fan brush, just because I feel like a fan brush flicks the product around a bit too much. And again, I'm just going to spritz my brush with a little bit of setting spray, like just one spritz so it's not too wet. So for my nose highlight, I'm just going to take the Glow Getter shade, the more gold one. And I'm just going to apply it on my finger so it doesn't get too crazy. I'm going to use that on my Cupid's bow as well. So I'm also going to take the brush that I use for my inner corner highlight, and I'm not going to add any extra products. That's a lie, actually. I'm dipping right now. I'm going to add a tiny bit of the Glow Getter shade just to my brow bone. So now I'm going to apply a coating of mascara. So I'm using the Maybelline Big Shot, which has become my favorite mascara, even more than Perversion. I really like it. So I've decided that I'm going to add some eyeliners to my waterline. So I'm going to use a black for to tightline my upper waterline. So this is just the Marc Jacobs Blacker. And then to the bottom waterline, I'm just going to do like a deep chocolate brown because I don't want it to be as harsh as black. So the first thing I'm going to do to finish off my eye area is set my brows. So I'm using soap because I find that this is the best thing for holding my brows at the moment. Like all brow gels I've tried don't live up to the same sort of hold as this. So I'm just going to spray the bar of soap with some setting spray or water, doesn't matter. And I'm just going to take a spoolie and I'm just going to run that on the soap bar. I don't want to get tons of soap on there. Just about that much is fine. And then I'm just going to brush that through my brows. I feel like this makes my brow hairs look a bit darker as well, and it makes them stand out a little bit better. It just makes them look a little bit more textured as well, which I love. I know this is like, it seems really like disjointed, this video. It's probably because I haven't filmed in so long that I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I've got this little tool. It's actually a nail art tool, and I got like a pack of 6, I think, from Amazon. And it's just like a dotting tool, so it's got different size balls on each end. So I'm just going to use this to pick up some lash glue. And I popped the lash glue onto a palette so it can get a little bit tacky. So I'm just doing a few dots to start with. And then I'm just using that same tool to pick up the stars. So I've wiped off the excess glue, but it will still be slightly tacky, and that's why it's so good at picking the stars up. So I'm going to apply the House of Lashes Iconic. So they are these really pretty, like, spiky, winged out lashes, but they don't look super spiky on the eye. So now I'm just going to finish off my skin. So I'm going to bronze up my skin using the Marc Jacobs Tantric Bronzer. And I'm going to take that on the Marc Jacobs The Bronze brush as well. So I'm just going to apply a little bit to my chest as well because I'm obviously not as bronze as my face. And now to contour my skin, I'm just going to take the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm just going to take that on a Spectrum C01 fan brush. And I'm just going to dip in between this middle shade and this last shade here. And then I'm also going to take that middle shade and I'm just going to lightly dust it down the sides of my nose. And then a bit underneath as well. So for my lips, so I'm going to do almost red. It's more like a reddy orange. But first I'm going to line my lips with Cherry Lip Liner by MAC. That went horribly wrong. So I've lined my lips with Cherry Lip Liner by MAC and I've almost fully filled them in. But now I'm just going to go over the top with this liquid lipstick by Kat Von D. So this one is in the shade Malice. So this shade doesn't actually launch in the UK until September, but it's already launched in America, I believe. Okay guys, that is the finished look. I hope you loved this video as much as I loved recreating this look for you. As always, everything will be listed in the description box below. I will also list Becca's Instagram account down below as well, so you can go and check out her other work because she is insane. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to hit the bell icon as well, and that will give you notifications when I post. I know that I've been a little bit MIA, but I'm back on my groove and I'm gonna be more active in these streets, okay? Gonna be more active, I'm gonna be posting more, filming more. I'm on it, I promise. So be sure to go and follow me on Instagram as well. I'll link that down below also. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought or what you want to see next, or if you've tried any of these products and what you think of them. And I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!